I don't know that there's a lot of bad from minicamp. I mean, if you can always look for the bad. I mean, I personally thought like Brock Purdy looked pretty good today. He's in great shape. He was throwing it around. He looked pretty comfortable. And then I heard other people say that, Brock Purdy was 0 for 4 and he badly misfired. I don't know. I mean, to me, he seemed like he was pretty comfortable moving around. What you're looking for is shake off the rust, get out there with your new teammates. Don't get hurt. I mean, everybody's got a different deal based on their status on the team. But for a guy like him, who's been to the Super Bowl in his second year, and you just want to see him get in there, get some reps with Pearsall, get some reps with Cowing, especially with Debo and Ayuk and Jennings. Or Debo was there, but with Ayuk and Jennings out, there's more reps for Cowing and Pearsall. I asked Brock about Cowing, and you could see him kind of light up. I mean, he definitely likes Cowing. He also said that he's been working with Pearsall, but what Cowing gives them is just a guy who's had 1,000 yards receiving in each of the last 3 years, who runs 4.38. So it's like he's a productive guy, and he runs fast for the stopwatch, and he'll create a lot of space. And as accurate as Purdy is, and as much space as Cowing can potentially create, that's an overwhelming positive when you think about what those two guys might be able to accomplish together.
Yeah, no, it's good. I don't think he was there. Cowing dressed up, right? I heard he didn't play.
I didn't see him in the practice, but yeah, I mean, I'd asked Purdy about playing, throwing to him, and I guess he said he had.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I posted a collab on IG. I saw that, so that was good. And that's what it is. OTAs right now, like half of these guys, like I said, aren't there. CMC, a lot of the players rehabbing. I really don't care if they're 10 for 10 on OTAs or 0 for 10. I don't. They just need to be there to get the reps, get the rust off, like you said. To me, that's what it is. Is trying to get back in, shape, get back in the football world. Get there with your guys, with the squad, the teammates, and stuff like that. That's what it's about. OTAs, it's the early stages. Rookies need to really kind of learn the ropes, because in training camp, that's when things really start picking up and start mattering. You get to your conditioning and stuff. Right now, these players are just getting back into the groove. They seem pretty locked in. All their answers are Brock Purdy said, hey, look, man, if Nick Bosa's taking this serious, we all got to take this serious. So I like that quote. I'm not worried if they're missing their targets on OTAs day one. I'm really not. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, Larry. If somebody does, got some problems there. Yeah, it's just nice to see these guys back. Again, there's certain players that need to be there, Cam Latu, and there's certain players that, hey, they're just there to make sure they're getting the ring rust off, and that's the way I look at it.
One thing, not to start controversy, but when the team did huddle up, everybody was in the center of the huddle except for Devondre Campbell, who was off to the side, who didn't jump into the team huddle. I wonder if he feels a little funny on the first day as a former Packer and a guy who's competed against the Niners, just immediately jumping in the huddle. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it, but I did notice he was the only player that wasn't in the huddle when the team huddled up, was Devondre Campbell. He came running over, but then ran off to the side and never joined the rest of the team.
I think you're looking into it too much. The other day, I don't know if you saw him.
He wants out.
No. No, I'm
not saying that. I'm just saying, coming over, maybe it's maybe he wants to ease into it a little bit.
Maybe an easy trend, but I don't know. I don't think so, because check it out. So when he signed with the Niners a couple of months ago, so he went crazy on Twitter. I don't know if he went on he was tweeting like crazy. He was talking about how, I got a few of the tweets. He goes, the organization didn't even call me to ask if I wanted to take a pay cut. They just released me after going into the media and saying me and Aaron Jones were a part of the future plan. Like, he was like ripping. He was like, this is the truth. He goes, there's so much I could say, but for the longest, I just kept myself and kept taking the blame. Like, it went on, like tweet after tweet after tweet. The other day he tweets, and this is a couple months after the free agency period. He goes, I can't even lie. I'm having so much fun playing football again. The situation I was in with the Packers was making me lose my love for the game, but I'm back having fun again, and I love that for myself. Thank you, God. So I feel like he's very happy being on the Niners.
Energized by the Niners being a Niner.
Kind of thriving. So although I know he may not have, I just think he's just trying to absorb it all in, Larry. I think he's just trying to absorb it, take it in. He's happy. He's got a new lease on life, and why wouldn't you want to be on the Niners, right? You're
Well,
defending.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a tall task to replace Dre Greenlaw,
It
but
is.
yeah, I mean, you're talking about a team that's got Super Bowl aspirations
Yeah.
and a pretty damn good linebacking core and a great linebacker coach and Johnny Holland. The Niners have a lot of positive things, and they've done a nice job at eyeballing good linebackers, which makes me kind of leads me to my next question. What do you think? I mean, is Campbell going to be the starter opposite, Warner all year? I don't see Greenlaw coming back anytime soon. I mean, people talk about, well, he may only miss 6 weeks. In what universe can a guy rip out his Achilles in February and be back in October?
I
I mean,
mean,
that's just outrageous. I mean, I just can't. I hope that's a right estimate, but I don't think so. If you said to me, when will you expect him? I would say definitely in December. I mean, it's gonna be take a while. He hurt the thing in February.
yeah.
He's got to be out at least 10 months, I think.
At least, I mean, it's a tough injury to come back. We
He
saw Aaron
maybe
Rodgers.
misses the whole year.
I mean, we saw Aaron Rodgers come back like crazy, and Drake Greenlaw, he's built different. We say that a lot, but I don't know. I think he could come back mid-season. I mean, if you want to be safe, because you don't want to rush him back to get a re-aggravation or re-injury. But I think Campbell will start until the day Greenlaw is ready. The day Greenlaw is coming back, sit yourself on the bench, Campbell, because this is Drake Greenlaw's time to shine. The guy's a dog. He's in a contract season, so he's going to come back and try to push himself to the limit. It's just the way he plays. He knows one speed, and that's top speed. So I think once Greenlaw feels like he's ready to go and he can play at that level, he'll be back. And that's the key, though, because Greenlaw is used to playing at such a high intensity, very high energy. I don't think he'll be ready to play until he knows he can handle that. Because if he goes out there and plays his frenetic pace, he can get injured again. So I think the team's going to be very careful with him. I say mid-season, some way. He's been working his tail off. A few months ago he posted how he says I'm relentless, and I don't know. I feel like he could be back by mid-season, but the moment he comes back, Larry, Campbell's sitting himself on the bench. I'm sorry, but he's not gonna be Dre Greenlaw.
No. I mean, Greenlaw is, he's a special player for sure.
Yeah.
I'm also eager to see, because usually in pro football, the biggest improvement you see is year 1 to year 2. I mean, in the regular season, it's like week 1 to week 2, but is in a career, it's year 1 to year 2. And I just think that between D. Winters, who's a really instinctive, fast football player who just needed to work on his kind of lower body leg strength and explosion. I'm eager to see what he looks like in year 2. I'm super eager to see what Jalen Graham looks like in year 2. And if these guys make the kind of improvement that I'm anticipating they're going to make, I think they're going to be really, really deep at linebacker, and they'll have their options of several good options of, because I mean, I think Jalen Graham's a starter. I really do. I think D. Winters has starter potential. So, we'll see. I expect both those guys to show up this summer and be quite a bit better. And that'll be nice, because, they're losing in Greenlaw, a very, very special player. The other guy that we got a chance to talk to today that is just, he's so impressive every time I meet this guy and talk to this guy, and that's Ji'Ayir Brown. Ji'Ayir Brown is just such an impressive guy. And he was asked about the Super Bowl, and he's like, I'm still not over it. And he wasn't just BSing. You could tell he was being genuine, and that's what level of competitor he is. That it just still gnaws at him that they lost the Super Bowl. But, another guy that last year he, sat the bench till it was his time. Then there was the right injury. He took the field. Then they needed him. By the end of the year, they were really depending on him. He had a big interception of Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He was awesome in the playoffs. I think he could make, to me, he looks like he's jacked. Like, he looks like he's put on like 5 or 6 good pounds of upper body muscle. He just looks like he's been, lifting a lot. And year 1 to year 2, especially with an instinctive player like him, I think he could really take off this year and become one of the Niners' great players, one of their leading players this year.
I think
I know people aren't expecting that, but I do expect him to make a major leap forward, and he already was good last year.
Yeah, he flashed in his the opportunities he got. He took advantage of the ops, and by the end of the season, man was picking up Patrick Mahomes. Like this guy was looking like a star. I mean, that was their first pick they made last year, draft pick. Like traded up to get him. They have high expectations for this guy, and I think that he's got all the potential in the world. The guy was a star at Penn State. Like he looks the part of a star safety, and I think he will be. You could just tell the way he speaks. And the way he's kind of processed the game. He says, last year was hard. It was tough coming in as a rookie, just trying to learn everything, all the expectations. He goes, now I know what they expect. He says it's a lot easier. The game slowed down. He said that today. He also said that last week at the Dwight Clark foundation last week, and he was talking, and he said that he says, you know what, the difference between this season, year two, and rookie season, he says it's night and day, and I love that because I think the game has slowed down, and now he's got that leadership mentality, like you said, and he was like a leader at Penn State. He reminds me of a young Fred Warner. Fred Warner had that like leadership edge, just that tenacity that brings out superstars and players. And I really see this guy becoming the next big defensive star on the Niners. I think he's going to take the leap. I know we say that a lot about a lot of players every year, Drake Jackson, but I genuinely, when I see Ji'Ayir Brown, like he's got it. He's got it. And the safety department right now, he's going to be top dog. Hufunga's coming off of ACL. There's no Gibson. He's the guy. He's going to lead the safety department this year. I'm hyped up for Ji'Ayir Brown. Yeah.
Is he going to play free safety, you think, or you think he's going to play strong safety?
I think he's going to play free, honestly, the way it's looking like, the way he's just kind of going out of there. But, I mean, it all depends on how Talanoa Hufanga comes back from this injury. He's going to dictate a lot. I heard he was out there rehabbing. He was on the side field, so that's encouraging. But honestly, it all depends on how, strong Hufanga is, how much, stability he has on the knee. Can he go sideline to sideline? Because Ji'Ayir could do it all at safety. He's got the instincts. He could play the run. Inside the box, he could play safety. He's got the coverage skills. Like he's a total package at safety, so he could do it all, honestly. But it really depends on Hufanga.